Hello, Joey here from the Ruck Infringement Podcast with our Ruck report today. Now, myself and Reese Boxydor, we did just record the Ruck report on StreamYard, but for some reason it won't let me get it off. It didn't go live on Instagram, so it is lost in the matrix somewhere. So I thought I'd jump on here, do a quick Ruck report of what happened, review over the week. There we go, we're back. Sorry, we do have a bit of a poor connection as well. So dealing with that could be part of the reason as well. But let's quickly jump into some Thursday night footy, of course, game of the round. Panthers v Bulldogs. What a fantastic game it was. And look, this was one that I did not expect. It's one that I didn't really see coming. I actually tipped the Dogs in this game. I thought Penrith still looked a bit like they had a bit more. Okay, we're back. I'm so sorry about that. Fixed the internet now. We had a bit of a poor connection. We got one question here from Hazza8801. He said, what are your thoughts on Cody Walker and his injuries, mate? Personally, and Boxing, I did speak about this during the Rabbitohs game, but personally, I think Cody's getting too old. I think he does need to retire. Look, he's almost 35. I just think he's on the wrong side of 30 now, and yeah, look, it's probably time to move him on, get some young guys in. Jamie Humphries looks absolutely outstanding, so you could always play him and Dodd or him and Whiten as well. So, yeah, look, there's definitely plenty of options there, but yeah, look, it's interesting to know what to do in that sense. But, yeah, talking about Thursday night now, Panthers getting it done 8-6, and what a fantastic... Now they look back, and as much as I hate to say that, they really, really do. And you know, like they're the sort of team that when push comes to shove, and when it's that backs against the wall mentality, they're the sort of team that could win it from outside the top four, which has never been done. So if there is a team to do it, it could be Penrith. Roosters or Smokies. They're sitting at 6. No one will agree with that, but I'm gonna throw it in there anyway. But yeah, look. What a game. It had that finals atmosphere about it. I really thought it was like watching a finals game. So yeah, Penrith getting it done. Now we are going to do a quick little game. Now I've got a few Ruck infringement bottle openers to give away, and what I'm going to do is for these bottle openers, I'm going to ask you a question now. Of course, Boxy's not here at the moment, but of course he's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Roosters fan, and there's one player who played for both of our clubs, and he played 5 games for New South Wales and 11 games for Australia. So if you think you know who this is, at the end of the stream, let me know in the comments. If you are correct, I will send you a Ruck infringement bottle opener. We do have a couple of questions here, which is fantastic. Blindside NRL, shout out to good mate Jai there. Who is the most overrated team in the comp, and why is it the Roosters? Mate, it's the Sharks, only because they've got this guy named Nico Hines who can't control the team. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but I hope that answers your question. Luke dot Melbourne _ Storm _ fan. Thoughts on the Falongo injury today? Hurts as a Storm fan, mate. He is an absolute revelation at that club. It definitely hurts. I think watching that young kid go around, you just go, man, he's going to be an absolute superstar. So look, hopefully it's not too long in the wings for Falongo, because I love watching him play, and I think the game is better having him around. Shout out to Brielle Carson, who said, what do you think of the current leaderboard, especially the first time for the Raiders? Currently on top for the first time in years. Yeah, look, it's really interesting seeing the Raiders where they're at the moment, but I love it. I love seeing some different teams up there. Raiders, Dogs, Warriors have dropped down a bit, but Raiders, Dogs, Warriors in that top 4. It's fantastic to see. It's so good. Broncos looking really good as well. Hazza8801, of course, said, sorry to butt in again. Just have one more question and I'll shut up. What do you think of Alex Johnson and the petition to rush the field? Yeah, I don't mind it, bro. I really don't mind it. I think, I think you should be able to do it. I'm just going to accept this invite here from my good mate Mick Makes Art. We'll see if we can get him in here. Yeah, look, for the petition to rush the field, I don't mind it. I think, hello, mate. How are you?
Good, you?
Good, mate. We're in. Beautiful. I was just saying how obviously the stream didn't work with Boxy and I before, but it was one of our best.
Yep.
But yeah, we're just talking about the petition for Alex Johnson, the petition for the fans to storm the field. Now, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think if he does break the record, it's first time in history. 212 tries. If he can get to 213, it's incredible. Let him run on.
Yeah.
Of course, it won't be at Allianz because that's not their home ground. So they can do it at Redfern Oval for all I care. But yeah, I think let them run on definitely.
100%.
We're just going through a couple of questions here. We got Blindside said agreed Heinz cat. Oh yeah, because I told him the Sharks were the most overrated side, and then he said, "Can we take a moment to acknowledge the beauty you've obtained wearing an MH beanie?" Yeah, shout out to Mark Hughes Foundation. Actually sent me this beanie and another one as well. We of course got in contact with them. They are doing. We did a video for them, so yeah, send us some beanies and shout out to the Mark Hughes Foundation. I think I heard they raised over 250 mil this round. So fantastic effort there. And you can, of course, still buy these beanies, Lowe's, IGA, and on their website as well.
Keep talking, Joey.
Yeah, I will, mate. Blindside said, I didn't know Brad Pitt worked with you, Prophet, mate. I am Brad Pitt. What are you talking about? I work with George Clooney. And then Paracave Podcast, shout out to Troy, said, why have a petition? Just rush the field. Who is going to stop thousands of fans? Well, you're exactly right. And apparently they did it in the AFL with Buddy's 1,000th goal as well. So, yeah, look, it's something that's really, really interesting. I've never really sort of seen this from this sort of petition before. I think, well, it hasn't been done before, has it? I mean, this is the first time that we've seen, 213 tries. So he's not far off. He's 6 to level and 7 to break the record. So it's pretty incredible there. As a Roosters fan, it's a bit bittersweet because obviously you don't like to see it, but yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
great. Oh, here he is rocking the Mark Hughes beanie. Absolutely
I'm
love
back.
it, mate. Now, first, before we go any further, Mick, people should say hello to you because Mick is the face behind our most of our social media, our graphics, and lots of our intros. If you have listened to our episodes, so mate, we absolutely love it. The content game is absolutely on fire. So this is Mick. This is the face, Mad Sea Eagles man. Pretty happy this week, mate. We're going to talk about that game now.
Sounds good.
Sea Eagles versus Tigers. Manly getting it done 28-10. Mate, it was good to see Cherry Evans stand up and prove that he's not lost to time and age hasn't caught up on him. Mate, what'd you
Mm.
make of Manly's performance?
It was good to get the win, but again, I'm not sold. I wasn't sold on it. It was like, especially after that first half, I was ready to throw
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, second half, I'm glad we got on when we did. But it's just, yeah, I still feel it's not enough. And it's like if they're pounding their chest about how good they're doing and all that sort of stuff, it's like, yeah, you beat the Tigers. So
Hey, mate, you got to take the wins. You got to take the wins.
I'll
It's
take that.
fine.
Yeah, take that.
Take it. But it was
Mm.
good. It was good to see Cherry Evans stand up. I think that was the big thing
Yeah,
from that.
yeah.
Uh, Hazard8801 said, yeah, honestly, I'm going to go to as many games as I can till we get to. He's talking about AJ there. Blindside listeners, rate this potty 5 stars on Spotify. Best in the biz, up the ruck, mate. You're exactly right. Give us 5 stars. Give us 1 star, but just rate us, just give us something. We don't really care what it is. Blindside then said, Brad Pitt and Clooney in the beanies. Much love. Mick, potty intros are game breaking, top tier stuff. Mate, shout out to Blindside, mate. We love that. We love that feedback. Thank you, mate. Really, really appreciate it. And then Paracave said, it's not bad. I've been a guest a couple of times. Mine is better. Lol. Nah, just joking. Not pumping up my own tires. Shout out to Paracave. We love you, Troy, and you do a fantastic job there. Let's jump into our second Friday night game now. What a game this was. Look, one that was not. I mean, I expected the Raiders to win, but I expected the Raiders to win by a lot more in this game. 2 weeks in a row, they've had a lead of 16-0, and 2 weeks in a row, they've almost let it slip. Mick, they got it done 22-16, but it wasn't convincing at all.
No, definitely not convincing. Again, I was on and off watching that one. I
Yeah.
didn't get to watch too much footy this weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, and I thought the Raiders would have got up on that one easy, but just wasn't to be this weekend. No.
Yeah, Newcastle. I do feel for them. Of course, we don't feel for them too much on our podcast, but Newcastle, they've lost by another try. Last week they lost by a try. The week before, no, they beat the Dolphins last week.
Yeah.
The week before they lost by a try. So they've been just thereabouts all year. And
Mm.
look, I don't know what's got to give there at Newcastle though. Of course, we know Adam O'Brien's not going to go because he's got $2 million they have to pay him if he does leave. So
Mm.
I don't know what more the Knights need, whether it's an injection I would say an injection of youth, but they've got young Sharp, young Fletcher Hunt as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of back to square one for Newcastle for me. If there are any Knights fans in here, throw in the comments what you think, what you think Newcastle need, and what is it? What is it that they need to move this team forward and to get them in a positive direction? Quickly for those that are just joining, we are doing a Who Are You, a guessing game. You can win a Ruck Infringement Podcast bottle opener. Now the question is, of course, I do have a different co-host here, but when I recorded this with Boxy, he's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Chooks man. We said, who is a player that played for both of our clubs, Roosters and the Cowboys, played 5 games for New South Wales and 11 for Australia? If you do know the answer, throw it in the comments, and if you are correct, you will win a Ruck Infringement bottle opener, best in the business. All right, let's move on to some Saturday footy now. The Brisbane Broncos against the Warriors. This is a game that I took the Warriors in this one. I was really hoping that they would win, just so the Roosters stayed fifth. That was the only reason. But mate, the Broncos, they are looking good the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on there? It's sort of like, yeah, they've gone from like bottom dwellers to now
Yeah,
they're sort of, yeah, they're on their way up. So
yeah.
who knows? I'm keen to see how it all goes. But yeah, again, I don't want them to go too good because then they're mainly going to go further down. So yeah, we'll have to
Mate,
see. Yeah.
a lot was made at the start of the year about Madge's coaching style and how hard he was on the players, but it
Yeah.
seems like they've really bought into that now.
Mm.
They're sort of starting to play for Madge. Tony Staggs was absolutely on fire in this game. Shibasaki as well, and younger
Yeah.
Josiah Karapani on the wing. He's been an absolute
He's a
find.
gunner.
So yeah, it's really interesting where they go from here. Of course, the big news throughout the week: Selwyn Cobbo is leaving the
Mm.
Broncos. Look to be signing at the Dolphins.
Mm.
I know the Dragons wanted him effective immediately, but he did turn that down. So he is going to stick with the Broncos for this season and join the Dolphins in 2026. Briella Carson had a couple of guesses. Matt Singh, Luke O'Donnell, Kane Lynette, James Tarmow, and Chad Townsend are my guesses. Ooh, one of those may be right. You'll find out at the end of the stream. Keep the guesses going, guys. Absolutely fantastic. There's some great names. Yeah, really, really good guesses. Let's jump into our next Saturday game. It was the Gufferson, the Lomax, the Jack DeBellin Cup. It was Parramatta against St George Illawarra Dragons. The Dragons getting it done 34-20. Now, mate, what was made of this game was, Lomax against Gufferson, coming up against your former club.
Yeah.
A lot was made during the week as well about Kyle Flanagan and whether he should be there because, his daddy's little boy or
Yeah.
or whatnot. But Damien Cook came out after, and I really liked what he said. He said, Kyle's not a superstar, but he leads our team, and he leads our team well, and we'll always back Kyle. And I really like to see that from your captain. I think
Mm.
that's really important to have. Personally, I do think they need to look in a different direction. I think Ilias is slightly better, in my opinion, than Kyle Flanagan. That's no knock on Kyle. He's been around, he's done the job before, but
Yeah.
I just think they need to look elsewhere. But mate. I don't know if you caught much of this game, but mate, Parramatta, they really needed to win this one. It's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't see this one at all. I was for the first time in a long time. I went to bed very early, but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. All I heard was there was a very controversial call towards the end as well with Para. So with a foot, the official
Yeah, Josh
on the
Adokar.
line, it looked very close. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the go is with Para. Just whether they're going to get up there or they're just going to keep staying where they are. So yeah, I don't know.
It's
Tricky
it's
one.
it's tough. Like Jason Riles seems to be doing a really, really good job, and he looks like a great coach. But I don't know if it's a culture thing at Parramatta, whether they just can't get themselves up for games, or
Yeah.
or whether they go into games knowing that we're going to get beat, and then that's the mentality they have throughout it.
Mm.
It's a really interesting one. So I don't really know where to go here for Para, but the Dragons, great to see them get in the winning circle again. We'll jump into our third Saturday game, and what a beauty this was, mate. The Dolphins getting it done
Mm.
50-28 over
Yeah,
the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, in what was probably the biggest varsity of the year, I tipped the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
that's very unlike you.
Now,
Yeah.
it is very unlike me, and everyone that knows me will agree with you, mate, because obviously I'm a devout Chooks man, and I never tip South Sydney, but for some reason I just felt there was a Latrell masterclass on the
Mm.
cards, and I was completely wrong. The Dolphins absolutely annihilating them, scoring 50 for the third time this season.
Yeah.
The Hammer getting 4 tries, mate. The Dolphins, are they a smoky?
I think they are now. They are,
Mm.
especially yeah. And was it Hammer getting on his 100th game too? So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
even more of a milestone. But yeah, it makes me feel even dumber because yeah, I put the on the meet the team slides for the Dolphins to be wooden spooners, and that was literally the week before they started their tear. So yeah,
So,
kudos
mate,
to
they've
them.
got you to thank. They've
Yeah,
got you to
that's
thank.
good.
You've guided them to this this
That's it.
trajectory.
Yeah,
So,
that's
no,
it.
it's fantastic, mate. But look, the Dolphins they're looking electrifying at the moment. South Sydney, as much as I hate to say it, it's great to see them second last.
Yep.
It couldn't happen to a nicer squad. But no,
Mm.
look. I mean, credit where credit's due. Wayne Bennett has been such a great coach for such a long time.
Mm.
Do you think age is just catching up on him, mate? Is he starting to just lose it a little bit in the coaching department?
I don't know. I honestly don't think much has changed with his style and things. I think, like
Mm,
you're saying with Para and things, it could be a culture thing and like
yeah,
look, putting the bloody Latrell on a pedestal, thinking he's going to fix the whole thing. But it's not going to be like that all the time.
yeah.
It's going to be up to the rest of the players, and it's just not happening at the moment. So
Yeah, for sure. I think Cody Walker's a big part of that. We spoke just before you jumped on, mate, about Cody Walker. You know, he's pushing 35 now,
yeah,
and once players start to get to that age, you've got to start looking. And with the injuries he's had too, I think if you're relatively healthy, it's okay to keep playing. But the injuries that he's had, he may need to look at just hanging up the boots
yeah.
because it's not good at the moment.
I was just thinking that today because that was yeah. He went off during the game with the hammy,
Yeah.
so it's almost going to get to that point, isn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I mean you've got Lewis Dodd there, you've got Jamie Humphries who's been an absolute find this season.
yeah.
So they're in good stead in the halves. They can move Whiten in there if they need to, but I don't know, Souths fans, if you are in the comments, put in the comments where you think is next for South Sydney. Should Cody Walker move on? Should he stay? Let us know what you think. We love answering your comments. If you are
Super League,
tuning in for
mate.
the first time, we are playing a Who Are You game this evening at the Ruck Report. Now, the question is, of course, I had good mate Boxy on earlier, but that stream didn't go live. But he's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Roosters fan. So we said, who is a player that played for both of our clubs, Roosters and Cowboys? He played 5 games for New South Wales and 11 games for Australia. If you do know the answer, throw it in the comments. And at the end of the stream, if you are correct, I'll let you know, and you will win a Ruck infringement bottle opener, which is some of the absolute best in the business. Mate, let's jump into some Sunday Arvo footy. Today, of course, time of recording, the Melbourne Storm against the Cronulla Sharks. Now, this is one that in recent history the Sharks have they've matched Melbourne. They've been pretty good. They're a little bit of a bogey team for Melbourne, but this game was anything but that. Melbourne getting it done 30-6. And look, the big talking point in this one, Hines. Where
Hmm.
should Hines play? Is he a halfback? Should he be at fullback? Mate, he's just not controlling the team at the moment.
No, that's the thing. I didn't see this game this summer, but
Mm,
again, it's just one of those. It's almost been that same question the whole year. So it's like, what do you do? What do you do?
yeah,
And where do you put him?
yeah.
I don't know. Like, how much longer is he there at the Sharks for? Has he
I
been
don't know, a
signed on
couple of
long term?
years,
Okay, so he's still there for a
maybe
while. So
two, maybe 2 years, I reckon.
they got to think
Yeah.
of something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's
I
one of
mean,
those. Yeah,
Kennedy's been pretty good this year, so like it'd be harsh on Kennedy to move Hines to
mm,
fullback, but they've got to try something. Unfortunately, he's just not controlling this team. I think Trindle's taking more of a role controlling the team than what Hines is. So they've
yeah,
they've, they've really really got to find something. Uh, on the other hand, Melbourne, they haven't been convincing this year, but they've been doing the job as we know Melbourne
yeah,
do.
yeah,
But they haven't looked incredible. This game they looked good. They looked like they came to prove a point. It was at Amy Park on a Sunday afternoon. As a Melbourne fan, what more can you ask for?
yeah.
But mate, do you think that they're out to make a statement now?
Personally, I think they're just going to stay where they are. They'll
Yep.
stay in that sort of third, fourth,
Yeah. Nice.
maybe yeah, round second. I keep thinking that I don't think they'll make the GF. I still
Yeah.
think for me, probably doggies and Raiders. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Doggies, Roosters. You're right.
Roosters. Yeah, different. Raiders. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
not
Sorry.
not that I'm a Raiders fan, but it's just yeah, yeah,
Yeah, mate, they're the informed teams at the moment.
yeah.
And then finally, the North Queensland Cowboys against the Gold Coast Titans. Now, what a
Mm.
game this was! Of course, Boxy was on the edge of his seat. Cowboys getting it done 30-24. They made it very very hard on themselves. At
Yep.
one point, they were up 18-0. Sorry, I think it
Right.
was 12-6 or 18-6, but they were absolutely flying at the time.
Yeah.
Cowboys made it very, very hard. Scotty Drinkwater was in fine form. I thought Tom Dearden was really good. Jake Clifford was really good. But it makes you wonder, a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago or so now, they dropped Jake Clifford after he had had a couple of really good games. And it really surprised me. They moved Purdue to 6, played Dearden at 7, and Clifford wasn't in the team at all. But he's come back and he looks like he hasn't missed a beat. It was a really interesting move that they did. But the Cowboys, they just need something at the moment. But they got the win and they'll take
Mm.
it. But their
Yeah,
opposition, the Gold Coast Titans, mate, they are in an absolute spiral at the moment. They are,
I don't know what's going on with them.
yeah,
They're cooked.
uh, they're what we call, cellar dwellers, and for a reason. They are absolutely cooked at the moment,
They
spiraling
are.
out of control. It doesn't like they've got Des Hasler as a coach who we know can do a job and has been a fantastic coach over a long period of time. So it's
Mm.
really, really interesting to see this team. They've got players like Tino, big Dave Fafita in the wings as well. AJ Brimson and Campbell, who I rate really highly, but
Yeah,
they're just not doing it at the
yeah,
moment. So
they're not getting it done,
so
mate.
yeah,
Just got to
I
get
don't
these
know. I
other
don't know what it
guys.
is for the Titans.
Yeah, I don't
Moving
know either.
forward, yeah,
It's very hard. It's very hard to figure out what is going to go on with them, like because it's just they've never been a team that's. Apologies for my or something, or I'll lose you. There you go. We're on.
no, that's all good.
I think we're working here.
Yeah, you're on. I can see you. I got you.
Sorry. Yeah, just making sure that I'm charging, but
Yeah,
yeah,
beautiful.
all good. And if I drop, that's what's happening.
That's right. I'd say I'll catch it, but I won't be able to. But yeah, mate, the Titans. It's a real interesting one. I think they've got the talent to threaten, but they just never can. They just don't get there. They've had a couple of really good wins this year. They beat the Chooks earlier in the season when they were still finding their feet. But it's just a case of same old for the Titans. Every year we see the same thing, but we've always seen it, mate. Like you and I, we're a bit older than the average listener on here, and
Yeah.
the old days of the Gold Coast Giants and the Seagulls as well. They just never really made a dent in the competition,
No.
and it's something that Gold Coast have never been able to do. And I think I think they need to fix that because on the surface, you look on paper and you go, man, that's a good footy side, that's a great footy side, but then they come out and play and you go, oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
schoolyard.
Yeah. 100%. Like you're saying, once they started, they've just never been one of those top eight teams that have sort
Yeah,
of got through. And the ones that they did get into the top eight, it was like what they were out first or second week. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
It's
don't
crazy.
know.
Interesting, but mate, that's it for round 17. Before we go, let's chat a bit of Origin Decider coming up. Not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday after that. Of course, the Blues dropped their team today with absolutely no changes at all, which
Changes.
did shock everybody. The
Mm.
big one for me, mate, Stefano Utoikamanu. Now, played about 20 minutes in game two. I don't think he was that great. I think you've got a guy called Keon Coleman-Tungy at South Sydney who is absolutely carving up at the moment. You've got a
Yeah.
guy at the West Tigers called Terrell May carving up at the moment. And for some reason, both of them can't get picked.
No. So I'm really surprised with that. Terrell, mate, like it's
Yeah,
insane. I don't
yeah.
know what it is, if it's just some of his off-field stuff or
Got to be
anyone.
attitude. Yeah,
No idea. But again, and especially with Itikamane, like you hardly even recognised him. So it's like, well, you hardly noticed him on the field. So it's just like,
yeah, exactly.
what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's interesting. But look, it'll be a great game. Of course, it is in Sydney, so we do have the home field advantage. If you are listening in the comments, drop your comments, your origin predictions, who you think's going to win. Give us a man of the match as well. I'm going New South Wales to win. Look, I love going 13 plus, but I'll make this one a bit tighter. So I will say New South Wales to win by 6 points. And man of the match, man of the match will be interesting because I thought Luai had a really good game too. Uh, and Cleary, if fit, will be good, but at the moment he has an injury. So I might stick with Luai for my man of the match. We'll just let this buffer. We've lost Mick here for a moment. If he doesn't come back in, we will just finish up. Can't see him there. If you were playing along at home, of course, we got Luke, Melbourne Storm fan, Queensland 1-12 as a Maroon fan. Mate, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be an absolute classic here. Thanks for all those that joined into the Ruck Report for this week. Round 17 done and dusted. Bring on round 18. It's going to be fantastic. Of course, if you were listening, we played a Who Are You game at the beginning. Now, I will ask the question again. Of course, played for the Cowboys and the Roosters, played 5 games for New South Wales and 11 games for Australia. Who am I? The answer was Luke O'Donnell. So if you did guess that, I'll go back through the comments and have a look. But you will get your hands on a Ruck infringement bottle opener. So congratulations, and those will be sent out within the next week. Andrew Calazias, I hope I got that right, mate. Sorry if I didn't. New South Wales 32-10. I love it, mate. That's a fantastic scoreline. That's what I like to see as a betting man. Throw some money on that. That'd be perfect. But thank you again. Big shout out to, of course, Mick, our social media guy, for jumping on as well. Don't forget, you can still get your Mark Hughes beanies at Lowe's, IJ, or on markhughesfoundation.com.au. So check all that out today. Check out our YouTube. Give us a follow, a like, subscribe. Give us a rate on Spotify as well, and Apple Podcasts. And head over, say good day. We're always down for a chat. Until next time, I'm the Prophet. Be good.